So hey guys, how is it going? This is Sunil
Hi, this is Abhilash.
and you're listening to SaaS Sessions podcast. Today's episode is with Ravi Teja Rodda. Ravi is the co-founder and CEO of Moengage. So Moengage is an intelligent marketing cloud built for the mobile-first world. With Moengage, companies can orchestrate campaigns across channels like push, email, in-app messaging, web push, and SMS with auto optimization towards higher conversions powered by machine learning. All right, here we go. So today, Moengage is probably one of the hottest startups in India, and I'm super excited to hear about your entrepreneurial journey, Ravi. And we'd like to know your thoughts and experiences with Moengage. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Sunil and Abhilash. Thanks for inviting me to the podcast and look forward to sharing our story.
Awesome. So let's start with Moengage. I believe that Moengage is short for mobile and engage, and it obviously leads to what Moengage is today. Maybe you could start with giving us your background and what exactly is Moengage.
Sure. I think on the word like Moengage, I mean, so when we initially thought of the naming, I mean, we thought it should be like something around mobile first engagement, and then it can be more engagement, it can be multi-channel engagement. So it actually surrounds a lot of different things that we are doing right now. So it actually started off where before Moengage, Yashwant and I, we were running a consumer business before. It is a mobile app company called Delight Circle.
Okay.
And while we were doing that, we scaled it up to kind of 200K use installs. And while we were doing that, we have seen challenges driving user engagement ourselves as a mobile app company. And we looked at various tools in the ecosystem. We have seen tools like Google Analytics and Mixpanel there, which are just providing aggregate insights into the customer behavior, but not the ability to act on those insights. And then there are these marketing automation tools, but all of them are built for email and web, but not built for today's mobile first companies. And this is a pain point since we have observed ourselves. And so we founded Moengage out of that pain point, and we started off in mid of 2014. That's the genesis.
Okay.
Perfect. And Ravi, you mentioned that you met Yashwant and both of you started Delight Circle. So based on the pain point that you saw that you had challenges in marketing automation,
Yep.
How did you come up, how did you know that, okay, both of you can go ahead and start off with Moengage? Like, how did that idea turn out?
I think, so our journey goes much way back, even before Moengage, even before Delight Circle. So we both are classmates at IIT, studied computer science together starting from 2006. So we have known each other now it's almost 13 years, right? And at IIT, we did a small SMS marketing startup. That was more centered towards the college fest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like we were doing things. We always wanted to build products which can impact users, which people would like to use, and that's what we always wanted to do. And so we just worked for Cisco Systems, and he worked for a different company for 7 months after undergrad, and then we thought, okay, let's start off because we are not and then we said, okay, let's start off with something around mobile, location, social, and that's how we started Delight Circle. So we always wanted to build products which people really want to use.
Awesome. So I mean, the entrepreneurial spirit was there in both of you, since the college times, I guess.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so how big is the team at Moengage today?
So Moengage is currently a team of 175 people. It would be probably 200 people in the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay, and that's in 4 years?
Yes, we are little less than 5-year-old as a company.
Awesome. And is timing a big factor here when it comes to starting a company like Moengage? Because you started one before as well, but
Yep.
that probably didn't go well, or that probably something happened, and now you started Moengage, and 4 years you're probably close to 200. And so is timing a big factor here, which helped you grow to so fast where you are today?
Yeah, I think, for me, in my opinion, timing is a key factor. I would put that as market plus timing is a combination that I would look at it. Which market that you're actually targeting, and whether and what you're doing, why is it relevant at the time, right? So I would agree to that. So for Moengage, I think there was a cusp of change that was happening at the point of time in 2014, where there are two factors, right? One is companies are basically used to build for web first, and then they start building more towards a mobile first customer behavior, right? So they're basically, more focused on like, okay, having a great mobile app or having a great mobile website, right? And then not just like internet first companies. It started off with internet first companies, but even now over the last 3 years, enterprises are undergoing digital transformation with mobile at the center, right? Then there's a second change that was happening, that people were moving the focus from acquiring users to retaining and users and driving conversions, right? So in 2014, when we start off, we are actually a pioneer of this whole mobile marketing automation in this space, right? So we had to educate people about why they should think about having a tool for basically retaining and driving conversions, right? The good part is, since we are seeing the pain point ourselves and we try to do things ourselves, so the initial people who bought the product, they basically just bought from us as people, not actually bought from us as a company. Right. So I think they were able to relate to us very well because of the problem that we were solving.
Right. So the changing in the market. So for example, the world was moving towards the mobile. So you say like, this change in the market also helped your company like Moengage also grow and have more customers. And so since the timing, obviously you said like it affected, and you were at the right place at the right time with the right audience at the right with the right product.
Yep.
And maybe that helped you scale up so quickly.
Yes, exactly. I think so. Obviously, as I mentioned, the timing was the key, and but at the same time, we made sure that we kind of moved faster. So we took a very lean approach with Moengage. Because that came out of our experience with the previous company. That in the previous company, we spent like 1.5 years building the product because we were engineers and we were trying to be too perfect, right?
Okay. With
Moengage, we said, okay, let's take very lean approach. We started pitching to people with just a PowerPoint and with just like a mock prototype in place. We validated the concept very quickly. We got people who were paying customers, and then since we are since we are engineers very well, we started building the product in parallel.
Awesome.
Right? We took a very lean approach. We validated that people are ready to pay for the product that we want to build, and then we started building it in parallel. Right? So and some of our initial customers were Taxi for Sure, which later got acquired by Ola, Snapdeal, Shopclues, Yuppie, and Ghana, and others, right? So we had to move very fast. That was really matter. And that's the culture that we built at Moengage even over the last 4.5 years, that we have pioneered the category, mobile marketing automation, and we have pioneered so many capabilities over the course of this 4 to 5 years. And we believe that culture of how we are able to kind of question the status quo has helped us win in this, has helped us succeed in what we are doing right now.
Interesting.
And Ravi, you also mentioned that earlier, while you went ahead and basically you went ahead, saw the problem, and you built the prototype, and in parallel you built the product as well, and you got the initial set of customers. But now Moengage is a global company. Like, how exactly did that shift happen, where you first started with moving to people in India and then move into the global market, and again with having a lean team?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So just to set some context, currently 70% of business happens outside of India. Right, so that's
17 or 70.
70. Only 30 to 35% of business comes from India. The remaining, the whole chunk of the business comes from outside India. Right, so that's a big shift that has happened over the course of the last 3-4 years now. So we have again in this. So till end of 2015, we were majorly focused in India as a market, and in fact, we. Right from, just to give you some context again, right from day one, we always thought of it as a global opportunity. And that's we incorporated the company in the US. We were part of an accelerator called Alchemist in 2014. But initially, even though we were in the US for a good amount of time in the initial stages, but we were targeting the Indian market because Indian market was at the cusp of that consumer growth. So we targeted with Indian customers. We were one of the leading player in the Indian market by end of 2015, working with some of the largest companies. Then we started thinking that after 2015, we raised our series around financing. So we started growing. We have some huge growth plans. As we started thinking about, the growth, we thought we should not be restricting ourselves to the Indian market. And we realized that, okay, we should start working on the international markets pretty quickly. So we went both, unlike all investors keep saying that, okay, you should always go to the West, we went both East and West. So we went into Southeast Asia in 2016 and also in the US, right? And over the last 3 years, we educated Southeast Asia market in 2016, replicated our playbook of India,
Awesome.
Started working with some of the largest customers in Indonesia. Now we work with 3 out of top 4 e-commerce marketplaces and top 3 companies in every key vertical in Indonesia. And in the last 1.5 years, we established in US and Europe, right? So what we realize is that when we look at new markets, we always wanted someone who hustles in the beginning, and that's something we have got in Southeast Asia. When we were expanding Southeast Asia, we found one of my friends who is also a co-founder of the company. He started the growth expansion for that market. So I think one thing we have been able to do is we have been able to replicate our success from one market to the other. I think that's because of a best-in-class product that we have, and then replicate what we have been able to do in one market to the other. Yeah.
Awesome, Ravi. And as you mentioned that based on traditionally moving to the West, you moved to the East as well. Did any new geography pose any challenges? Did you see any challenge that you would like to share with the audience so that they get to understand how exactly is the market outside India?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Abhilash. I think so. Just to give you some sense of the international markets that we are, right? So currently, in the international markets, half of the international market business comes from Southeast Asia, and then the half comes from US and Europe. So think of India is 1/3, Southeast Asia is another 1/3, and US and Europe is 1/3, right? So that's a kind of very fair, very great distribution. So you can look at how Southeast Asia, US and Europe have become so big in terms of the markets for us, and probably a year down the line it would be much more different. So if you look at some of the problems that we faced in these new markets, I think. So first point is to basically you should be patient when you're looking at a new market.
Mm-hmm.
Every new market, you need to think of it as a different product market fit. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing in India, you can't just say that, okay, now we are growing from 0 to 1. Let's say you're growing by 25% quarter on quarter in India. Now you start going to new market, you can't expect 25% growth in the beginning. The first 10 customers, we look at any new market as get the first 10 credible customers in the ideal customer profile that you have, and then hustle towards that. That would take some time. That would take probably a year, sometimes 2 years. Mm-hmm. Once you get to that first piece, then post that, you can start building the sales engine.
Awesome.
And then grow. Then from that 0 to 1, and then 1 to 5. 1 to 5 will be much quicker, right? So sometimes again, so you need to be patient. So for us, that initial 10 customers took. I think in Southeast Asia, it took probably 15 months. Okay. But after that, the growth is much faster. Awesome, right? US took even more time. US, because there's so much noise in the market, there's so many companies selling to our same buyers. So you need to first answer. In US, since it's a very sophisticated market, right? They want to generally know, okay, who do you work with in the US? That's a very question that you keep getting, right? Then you need to figure out your niche. We figured out our niche in the media segment in the beginning, and that took a lot of hustling in the beginning. We took that, and then we established some credible customers in the media segment. Then we were able to kind of scale it up very well in the last 1.5 years in the US as well. So always just think about the next small milestones instead of thinking at a very big.
Right. So is it when you're expanding to a new geography? So it is like setting up a whole new startup there. Right, so it's starting up from the ground and doing all the work. Just the difference here is you already have the product.
Yeah, that is the only difference.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Yes, that's
right.
And
so I believe that expanding to new geographies outside India would require a lot of obviously money, right? So when did you say you close your first round of funding?
So our first round was more of an accelerator round. We were part of an accelerator called Alchemist. Right. So that we did the round in August, September. That was a small 30K check.
2016.
Yeah, 2014. Okay, that was a small a 30K check from Alchemist. Then we did our seed round in like Q4 2014.
Okay.
That was backed by Helion Ventures, and it's like an exception from Helion because they're a typical Series A/B fund, but we were an exception for them. Right?
Awesome.
And then we did the Series A in 2015, and then Series B in 2018. Yeah.
Awesome. And I believe that a couple of your customers are investors also. So like Snapdeal and Taxi for Sure were your customers, and they became investors later on.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of the people from our customers actually became customers because of they have seen the product, right? I mean, they have seen the strong validation of how we have evolved as a product. So Kunal and Rohit from Snapdeal, Raghunandan from Taxi for Sure, Anand Chandrasekharan from who used to see us at Airtel and Snapdeal as well. Similarly, like there are a couple more actually who have been the customers, and then have invested in us. And interestingly, these angel investors have invested in us in a Series A round, which is not typical for a company.
And when you raised your accelerator round, and after that when you raised your seed round, so in between that time, so how did you decide, that you're ready, that Moengage is ready to raise more funds, and what were those funds exactly for? Was it for expanding into new markets as you mentioned, or was it for just to develop the product more, or was it to hire a good sales and marketing team? So and how did you reach a stage like that?
Yeah, you're taking me back like 4 years. So, so yeah, I mean, the seed happened in like end of 2014, and I mean that was a something around, right? Suppose that so we were actually going through a hyper growth phase in early 2015 as well. So we were adding customers like and the product is growing very fast. And we are selling some scaled customers, right? I mean, Snapdeal and Ghana and so on at that point of time. And we actually thought of initially raising a smaller round. It ended up becoming bigger. Like, I did not even initially plan for a Series A round in early 2015. I mean, there was good interest that we saw, and then at the same time, I mean, we have seen hyper growth in our customer base, product plans, scaling. So we invested. I mean, the investment that we raised in Series A was both towards sales growth as well as the international growth, I would say, like because post the Series A that we did, we started working on our international market expansion as well. At the same time, the product development as well.
Awesome. So is it the raise of funds, was it because of getting good traction, or was it because of the high profile clients that you were closing in, like Ghana and the other clients you mentioned?
Yeah, it is traction. Obviously, I mean traction and more. I mean, see, when Series A rounds happen, right? Series A rounds are more happen towards the potential.
Okay.
Right. So the investors have seen the potential, in terms of the customer segment that we have, that the number of companies that we can actually sign up over the next 7 to 8 years, and then so it's more towards the potential, how large this company can become, right? And can as the company achieve product market fit. So they have seen that the company has achieved product market fit. It's more about now now it's more around that. Okay, if I add one salesperson, how much they can add a million ARR, right? So or million quota, right? So they have seen that the company has achieved product market fit. They have seen that there's strong potential for the company. So it's more around now. It's more about, okay, let's put in capital, which will easily help us expand.
Okay. And coming back to today, like what are some activities that Moengage is doing now in terms of, like, is it on the hypergrowth track today as well?
Yeah, yes, we are. We have been growing anywhere from 120 to 150% year on year for the last 3 years, actually, consistently doing it. And over the last 1.5 years, we have significantly grown in the enterprise customer segment. We signed some large enterprise customers like McAfee, Deutsche, and a large Fortune 500 bank, which we are yet to announce. A large FMCG, the global FMCG brand, which we are yet to announce. So we work with about 7 Fortune 500, global Fortune 500, 7 of them. So we are seeing a rapid growth. Adding, I think I was mentioning the recent town hall that we've grown like 50% in terms of our overall business in the last 4 months.
Okay.
Right. So that's, we're seeing strong growth, and more importantly, what we are doing right now in terms of activities you mentioned is that we realize that there's only 50% that's about building a world-class platform and sharing it, but there's a more 50% value that we need to help companies leverage solutions like us better to drive growth, right? And towards this aspect, we started to do a lot more events like hash growth events that we did in early this year. The idea is to get these growth practitioners from some of these good companies, come and bring them at one place, get them to share what's working for them, what's not working for them, so that there's a lot more real takeaways for the community. Because we saw this lack of a strong growth community where people can share in terms of learnings around driving growth, right? And that's something we are helping build. That's some of the key initiatives that we are taking over the course of the next 1-2 years.
So talking in terms of events that you're doing, so what's your what are your plans with the events? Like, what are your future plans? What do you want to have that event as?
So on Moengage, our own events, I think so we plan to do 3 large scale events every year.
Awesome.
Across our key geographies, the 3 key geographies: India, Southeast Asia, and US. And then we plan to do a good number of the smaller ones as well. We call it as hash growth mixers.
Okay.
These would be the small scale events, like it would be probably like having a panel and then like 30-40 people. And those are some things that we are doing. I mean, we are doing one in the Vietnam next month, and then in Singapore. So we have like almost we are planning to do almost 2 events every month. These are the smaller scale events as well. Again, towards the same objective that I mentioned.
Right. And what exact outcome do you expect from these events, like apart from what you already mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, so for Moengage, I mean, the outcome will be around driving a lot more awareness about Moengage, and also like helping, instead of we telling how Moengage helps, it would be great if one of our customers talk about how they're driving growth and where Moengage is an enabler, right? Awesome. So it indirectly helps us. And it also helps us build the brand, right? And that's what those are the outcomes from the Moengage perspective.
Awesome. Yeah. And recently I saw on social media that you set a record of sending 2.8 billion notifications in a single day on the election day here in India. Yeah. So tell us more about it, like how it happened and how did you support it?
Yeah, I think so on this piece, right? I mean, I think it mainly showcases how the technology can scale, how the platform can scale at that scale, right? That's basically like from the day before to that day. It's like you're basically talking about 2.5 to 3x, right? The elasticity of the platform is what makes it unique about that milestone. It's not just about okay, what is that milestone, right? So that's one key thing. And the second thing is in that milestone that we have customers sending 30 to 40 million notifications in a single minute for the election alerts, right? Oh. Because it's very important for some of our customers to be the first when they're sending an alert, right? And that's what we are enabling these companies that way they can they do this through this feature we have called Express Campaigns, right. And where we are able to send the relevant alert to all these audiences in the least amount of time.
Awesome. So talking in terms of technology, like what's next for Moengage? Where is it headed?
In terms of the product vision, our overall vision as a company is that we want to help our vision is to build world's most trusted customer engagement platform that helps consumer brands personalize every user interaction, right? Okay. So our customers, which are consumer brands, they have, like if you look at an OYO or a McAfee, right? So they have these different touch points with their customers. This could be your mobile app, mobile website, call center, offline, and so on, right? So we want to be able to help these companies personalize each of these touch points and personalize even the time, the content of these interactions that happen across each of these touch points, and that's the vision. And towards that vision, we have 3 key product pillars that we are investing into: the multi-channel marketing automation, marketing and product analytics, and web and app personalization products in the next 2 years. So you can see us like evolving more as a multi-product company at a high level.
And what do you think about expanding into new markets? Is there something new for Moengage that's been coming or that's been planned?
So currently, we our focus markets are these 5 geographies: India, Southeast Asia, US, Europe, and Middle East regions.
Okay.
Probably till next year, we'll start. Till end of this year, we'll focus on these markets. We want to go deep into these markets, and you can see us expanding more over the course of next 1 year as well into ANZ and other markets as well.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing these insights into the journey of Moengage. Ravi, we also, as you mentioned, the product is built for global scale and it's moving to many more geographies.
Yep.
And we are sure that we'll see more people use and get value from the platform. Now, I just wanted to quickly take you through like a quick lightning round where we wanted to get general information from you for the audience. Like, can you tell us like an Indian SaaS startup that you admire and why?
Apart from Moengage.
Yeah, I think in my opinion that would be Freshworks. Probably it's the favorite one for many others, right?
Okay.
I think what I like about Freshworks is, because it's similar to how our ambitions are, and that is the reason I mentioned about Freshworks. That how they have evolved as a multi-product company, multi-geography company, and then though they start off from SMB focus, I think they are now doing a lot more enterprise. That is one difference between Freshworks and us. We are a lot more mid-market enterprise focused, and where in our case we can't differentiate on price. When you're looking at mid-market enterprise, we need to differentiate on value, right? And that's something we are in. But that's the startup that I really look at.
Perfect. And which other startup CEO do you admire?
Yeah, so my favorite is Elon Musk. That's his.
Anyone from India?
Yeah, anyone from India. So though I haven't personally much interacted a lot, I admire Sachin Bansal.
Okay.
Because I think he has put India on the world map. And when I was starting off in 2010, 11, right, that was my previous startup. So Flipkart is kind of like is the poster child of Indian startup ecosystem, right? And it has brought India into the world map, and I think that's the reason I admire Sachin. I've had a couple of interactions, but haven't personally interacted with him a lot.
Awesome. And Ravi, also a book that you would recommend as a founder for anyone else who's running a company that he can get some inspiration from?
If you're running a enterprise software company, you should probably read Behind the Cloud by Mark Benioff. It has, I think, it takes through how Salesforce has basically really kind of established themselves. The other one I look at is there's a Zendesk's biography. Zendesk biography. I don't remember the exact name. It's of Mikkel Swain's biography about how Zendesk has actually started off in Europe and then actually grown into the US and built a $1 billion company.
Awesome. So that brings us to the end of this awesome conversation with you, Ravi. So thanks for taking this time and thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me also.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks, Ravi.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.